Hello, on camera.
I could not open my computer.
Hello.
Hello?
Okay, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you, but I could not open my laptop.
Okay. Can you enable your video also? You we cannot see you. Okay.
Oh, much better now. This is much better than last week. Welcome. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but I tried to use the laptop, but could not.
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Now I use the telephone again.
Hello,
Hello?
Kenneth, I hear you very well.
Yeah, I hear you very well, but camera, it's very hard for me to hear your voice.
Now, can you hear me?
I hear you from camera.
And yeah. When you speak, you just hold it to your mouth, and then when you listen, you can release it.
Okay. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you quite well. Thank you. And it's also much better than when you're outside in the dark on the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Much different. So, welcome.
Welcome.
So, you guys sent me your paragraphs. Thank you very much. So, why don't we start with camera? I think if you wait a second, Ravut will throw up your 2 paragraphs on screen and we'll discuss them, okay?
Yeah, please. Yes.
Yes.
Did you have a nice week this week?
Yes, nice.
I was very busy.
Because it sounds like you're between YouTube and Doctor Without Borders, sounds like you're always busy.
I am going to have staff from Europe on Monday, and my boss is coming to Phnom Penh already, and I'm going to travel to the province after holiday, and before I need to pay the staff before the holiday, because the payment date at my organization is before 25th, and if the holiday is involving me, we need to pay like earlier. So we are going to pay on 16. That's why a lot of things to do.
Of course, very nice. Yeah, yes. Otherwise people have a very bad holiday without payment, certainly.
That's true. And also everybody are taking off like 2 days before the holiday.
True.
Yeah, that's why everything needs to be done in advance. Prior to
it's still interesting for me to be in Cambodia where you have so many holidays. Okay, so these are, thank you, Ravut. These are the 2 paragraphs that she sent in. So do you want to read, Kema?
Well, my husband and I bought our first house last November, and we love it.
Can you
hear me?
When you do that, I hear you, but when you move your hand away, we lose you. So unfortunately, your microphone doesn't pick up well.
I tried to use laptop, but now it could not work. I will tomorrow will go to meet up to help me.
Okay, yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah. Now it's small. I could not read it.
Okay, so you continue reading.
It's changing screen over and over on me.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, there it is.
Okay. Again, a good paragraph. My husband and I bought a first house last November, and we love it. It is located in West Provo near Utah's Lake. Although we cannot see the lake from our house, we do have a beautiful view of Mount Timpanogos. Our house has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a living room and a family room, and a large kitchen with dining area. We also have a large backyard and a small garden. We are very happy to own our own home, and I hope that we will live there for several years.
Okay, thank you. So as you mentioned, under this has a good topic sentence. The topic sentence is not specific, but it is a nice. So if I ask you what type of paragraph is that? What style? What sort of paragraph is this? Do you know?
This paragraph is introduction.
You have to. I can't hear you very well.
Introduction paragraph.
It's introduction, but like, would this be a persuasive paragraph, argument, or do you know what style paragraph this would be?
I don't know.
Suchit?
No idea too.
Okay.
I don't have idea about
So
the paragraph.
this is a good example. Actually, this is what's called a description.
Oh,
So basically, the writer is talking about something, then they're giving details. So this is, overall, this is a nice paragraph. As you said, this is a good example, Kemra, thank you. Because basically you understand the first sentence that we're excited about our first house. And then the rest of the supporting, the sentences in the middle just tell you about why they're excited, why their house is so nice that they love it. And then the last sentence is a very good conclusion. I'll talk about conclusions later, which is we're happy to own our own home, and I hope that we will live there for several years, which is kind of odd for several years. But anyway, they repeat the main idea, which is we like our own house, and then they add just something very small, which is I hope we can live there for several years, although it is mysterious why you'd buy a new house and have to leave unless you were a bear or something. So, but anyway, this is a very good paragraph. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So next, actually, I can go ahead and read the bad paragraph. Okay?
Yeah. Can I do it? Women in the past were not granted civil rights. Women in Sparta were considered citizens. Their rights were respected. Divorce were accepted there. Most importantly, they were considered important members of the household.
Okay. Actually, this is written very well. So, Chiat, can you see what's wrong with there's only one problem really wrong with that paragraph. What's the problem with that paragraph?
Honestly, I don't have idea about how it is.
Oh, okay. Cameron, do you know what the one problem? There's only one problem I see with the paragraph, really.
The one problem is the paragraph doesn't link, and they speak a bit broad, not specific. Like yes, what they want, I don't want. Yeah, it's not clear. They talk about the right. For me, I a bit not linked to each other, to link. Like,
correct.
Yeah.
Right. The only problem is your topic sentence is the wrong topic sentence. So it's very good support for the opposite. If they said that women in the past, there's examples of women having good civil rights. For example, in Sparta, they were considered citizens. Everything would be fixed. All they have to do is take out the word not, and it becomes a pretty good paragraph that does not have a conclusion. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
But actually the writing is much more, it's very clear, it's very short. It has a topic sentence, it just has the wrong topic sentence for reasons beyond me. It's like someone just took it away. So these are actually good paragraphs in the sense of having a topic sentence and then supporting them or doing the opposite. And actually the first paragraph, we'll talk later, has a very nice conclusion, which it has both the summary, we bought a home, and add something small. I hope that we can live there for several years, which is also odd without explaining. Okay, very good. Let's go to Suchit's paragraph next. So everybody, again, if you remember home from last week, and say hello to home. With us from
Home.
the little island over there in the Indian Ocean.
Hello, Bong.
Okay, do you want, Suchit, do you want to read your paragraph,
Yes.
first one? So which one is the good paragraph?
The first one is a good paragraph.
All right, go ahead and share.
The best leader realize that obtaining accurate and instant information is the key to make quick, effective decision. As Winston Churchill once said, as a general rule, the most successful man in life is the man who has the best information. Leaders need to be right there in the field where they can see the things to themselves and act quickly in the response to the developing event.
So why is that a good paragraph?
Because there is a topic sentence, there is a supporting information, and the conclusion is there too. So one sentence is the topic sentence, one sentence is the supporting idea, and another one is the conclusion.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually, it's interesting. I find this one, it's okay, but I don't love this as a paragraph. It feels like it's missing something. It's written in a very mature way, but it feels to me like you really need to support. There's not enough support for the topic sentence. It just seems like it actually is a little bit too broad. The best leaders, so you might just say the best leaders need accurate information and then talk about inaccurate or accurate, and then talk about quick decisions. It feels like the topic sentence is a little broad, and the support just leaves me a little bit hungry.
You mean it's not enough support?
Not for something that broad. That's a pretty broad thing, and it would be much better to break this up into two. This is a very broad idea, and you really want to break this. So the thing with Winston Churchill is you could give examples of the best leaders, like Churchill, Lincoln, and then you could have another one about accurate, and then you could have that once they have it, they make quick decisions. But to me, it feels a little bit too broad, and the support just doesn't, it supports it, but it's not enough. It feels me wanting more, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like
but it's written very well. It's it's written very well, but it just feels.
I read the book.
It just feels like if you break the topic sentence down, it would be a much better informative. It just feels a little bit too broad. It's like taking something very deep and attacking it in a very quick fashion. If that makes. Kimra, do you follow what I mean? Again, we can't hear you, Kimra.
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I listen to what you say.
Yeah, does that make what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Can you speak again? Yeah.
Sure. The only thing, I like the idea, but the topic sentence is a little broad. It's too wide. So when the writer gives support, it's too fast. It doesn't really give me enough to prove the topic sentence. To me, if they could break this down into 2 paragraphs or 3, it would be a much more satisfying idea.
You mean need more sentence about the support?
Yeah.
Supporting idea. Yeah.
Right. So accurate. In other words, they support it, but it's kind of like saying in management you need to make quick decisions, and then you give 3 sentences, but it's a very big topic. It needs to be broken down more than that. You can support it and say you need to make quick decisions, but it just feels not satisfying. There needs to be more, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Second one, Suchit, can you read?
Yes. I can see only half. Can you? Yeah. English online class is a new way of learning which students don't need to attend in a regular class face-to-face. Students can use their computer or phone to attend from wherever they are with the internet access. It saves time from commuting back and forth. Nowadays, a lot of people in the world attend this class. So such an online technique can help full-time employee to arrange their time to attend and develop their higher education.
Okay, thank you. Why, and what were your reasons for saying that this is a bad paragraph?
Because I wrote it myself.
Besides the
It's
fact that
actually
you
quite
wrote
good.
it,
I like it.
yeah, the thing that's confusing is that your bad paragraph is a good paragraph, and your good paragraph is not that good. So this is a very good paragraph, actually.
Okay, so I don't need to explain why it is a bad paragraph.
You can try it, but it's going to be very hard because you've taken a narrow topic and given good support, and then you made a nice conclusion, which was, you know, if you're full-time, this allows you to balance your time. So this is a very complete.
I don't hear you. I cannot hear you.
Example. So you did much better than the book. So your example is better than the book you found for whatever reason. So this is a very good paragraph. I mean, there's a few little grammar things actually in both of them, but overall, I like the second paragraph. It's written in an interesting way. It has a clear topic sentence, and it does it in a more mature. It doesn't say there are 3 reasons, which I'm going to have you do if you need to, but then it explains it very well. It talks about, it gives you flexibility, you save time, you save resources, and for people who work full-time, this is a really nice option that we have today. Very well done. Bad homework, but very good paragraph.
I think so.
And also you use shorter languages. There isn't that, when I read it, your idea, you say one thing and then you leave it to the next sentence, you say one thing and then the other sentence says another thing. Whereas the first one, the one idea about leadership, I need to read at least 2 sentences to get it. That's the thing. That's why I like your paragraph better than the other one. Yeah, for me, that's how I see it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very strange when I read your homework. We thought that you had mixed up the 2, so it was confusing for us. So maybe you can write good paragraphs, but you don't know what you're writing. Maybe the problem is that you write well, but you don't know what you write, which could be a problem.
I was trying to give the information to support the idea that the internet, the online class is good and it helpful, something like that. That's why it went like that.
No, it's very good. Okay, so thank you both for doing the homework. I appreciate it. Interesting. So also part of it, I think if you know what to look for, if you understand what makes a good paragraph and what makes a weaker paragraph, then you can look and evaluate your own work, and it's easier to correct or proofread your own work. So that's also important. So tonight, basically, I'm going to talk a little bit about, mostly I'm going to talk about narrowing your topic. So actually, when you started, you took a test online, remember? And you wrote a paragraph about Cambodia.
Yep.
Part of the problem a little bit, and I specifically gave you a very broad topic. because one of the most important things that you have to do is to take topics and make them manageable, make them small, so that if you have 2 pages, you make it more small. If you have 5 pages, a little bit wider. If you have 10 pages, you can go out. But the key thing in English, maybe in Khmer, is that your essays, your paragraphs, and your sentences need to be very focused so it's easy for people to understand. So tonight, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so here's 3 sentences. So I want you to look at them and tell me which one is the most narrow or the most focused for a doctor. Kimra?
Have 3 questions, right?
Yeah, there's 3 statements. First one, I'm sick.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the most focused if you were a doctor?
Number 3.
Okay. Why is number 3 better?
Because the patient tell the doctor about the problem. Yes, and how often the more detail about the problem.
Okay. So Chit, you agree?
No. I think number 2 is the specific because it tell about what exactly happened. The pain, especially I have so much pain. So, but the vomit is some vomit 3 times. And the number 3 is more like detailed information, but it's not very specific.
Okay. Actually, they kind of give you different. So actually, if I was a doctor and I wanted to help you, number 3 would help me the most. It gives me a lot of specific, but I understand what you're saying. You could just, as a topic sentence, you could say I have stomach pain, and then the support could be I vomited 3 times in the past 4 hours. So certainly the 3rd sentence is more narrow, but number 1 might be a topic sentence. So it really depends on if you're doing a sentence or a paragraph, certainly. I am sick, again, but when you come to the hospital, number 3 would certainly be the best. You get much better treatment if you give number 3.
Okay.
If you give number 2, I don't know what to do. If you tell me that, but it can also be I have stomach pain, then under that you put I vomited 3 times in the last 4 hours after I ate seafood. So this makes sense also. So let's move on to the next one. I have a little battery. Okay. Sorry, just getting my computer. Okay, so the next we'll throw up there and you can look at it. Same thing, just try to find out which one is the most narrow. Okay, so if you were reading a paragraph, Sachia, which one would be the good topic sentence?
Number 3 again.
Because?
I cannot see the whole
Oh,
sentence.
okay. I believe the second one says, I want to show you 3 steps for cooking meat or beef.
It's too small, right?
No, I mean because the video or all the participants on the right side, and it it blocked the last part.
You can scroll and move around on the top.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Now I put it on the top.
Yeah, you can move around.
Oh, same thing for me.
Or you can hide it.
Yeah, now I moved to the top already. Can you display again? I want to show 3-step.
So I need to see people. So.
Okay.
You can talk earlier.
Oh, okay, this is okay. Thanks.
Number 3, still be number 3.
Okay, how come?
Because it is very specific. I want to show the 3-step on the cooking grill by using beef using an open fire, very specific.
Okay, so this seems like it would be a good topic sentence for a paragraph, right?
Yep.
Okay, Kemra?
I think number 1.
Number 1. Why do you say number 1?
Because just like the topic sentence, they said that want to show the system of cooking is just food.
Can you speak again? I'm having a hard time picking up your voice.
I think number 1 is the good one because they just start to talking about how to show the system of cooking delicious food.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so in a paragraph, if we're talking about a paragraph and not an essay, number 3 would probably be a much easier topic sentence because then you have 3 steps for cooking grilled meat. First, you dip it into spices and oil. Then you let the fire go for about 45 minutes, and then you cook it, whatever you do. The problem with number 1 and number 2 is I don't know what food. And if you start talking about grilling beef, this is okay, but it's not clear. You know, it's much better if people know. So it's the same thing when you see a sign. Instead of saying food, if I can say, you know, 3 steps. If I can say 3 steps for cooking beef and cooking beef on fire, it becomes much easier for the reader to know what to expect. So number 1 and number 2 are okay, but the reader doesn't know what's going to come next. If you use number 3, I know exactly what I can kind of preview. I can say, oh, there's going to be fire, there's going to be beef, and it becomes much more focused. So number 3 is a much more focused topic sentence.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's go to the next exercise. So as you can see, it shows you focus going from wide to narrow.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have some sentences that would be potential topic sentences. So I want you to look through them and I want you to choose as many topic sentences for a paragraph that you think would be appropriate topic sentences. So just look through them and then I will let Kemra go first, then Sochiat. So just read each of the sentences. I can read them. Cats are furry animals. 2, computer science is a growing, exciting field of study both in Cambodia and abroad. 3, 50% of the population is female. 4, Cambodia has both Thailand and Vietnam as its neighboring countries. And English is a challenging subject for non-native speakers.
So you mean one select the good topic
So
sentence, right?
choose any, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I want you to choose all of the sentences that you think would be good topic sentences for a paragraph. Okay?
I think number 2.
Number 2 would be good. Anything else?
Number one as well. It's a short and number one is a good food.
Number one would be good, and number two?
Number one, number two, and number five.
Number five. All right, 1, 2, and 5. Thank you. Suchit?
We have the same idea.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
All right, so let me go through the sentences and talk about the reasoning. All right, so first of all, number 2 is clearly a good topic sentence. Computer science, it's a growing, exciting field of study both in Cambodia and abroad. Actually, it might be too broad. You might want to say, focus, it's exciting in Cambodia, and then another one on abroad. But this is, you can support it. You can talk about why more people are studying IT and then have a conclusion. So this would certainly be a good topic sentence. Number 5, also, English is a challenging subject for non-native speakers. So you could give reasons why English is such a difficult topic. The first one, which you both picked, the problem with this is it's true, but it's hard to support. So what I mean by this is that this would be a supporting sentence. So if my topic sentence was cats make good pets, first, they're furry and nice to pet. This would be a good support. But if I'm trying to support that cats are furry, it's very hard for me to support that topic because this is a fact. All I can say is that they always, so it's not very useful. One, it's obvious, but two, this is a supporting topic. This is not a topic, this is a supporting sentence. Do you follow what I mean?
Yeah.
I may not know the word fun. I confuse the word furry to funny, sorry.
Okay, that would change it. Yeah, funny would be okay. That would be a much different. Because funny is very different from furry, although some furry people are funny. Okay. Number 3 is pretty useless because it's obvious and you can't support it. All you can say is females are not 55, they're not 49. So if you were talking about that women should have equal rights, this would be a good supporting sentence, but not a good topic sentence. Likewise, number 4 is also pretty obvious. And if you were saying that Cambodia is a good place to visit, you could say, well, you're near Thailand and Vietnam, but as a topic sentence, it's quite useless. It gives you a fact. So quite often facts or things that are obvious are not good topic sentences. Facts are what you're going to use to support your topic sentence. Also, they're too broad. Cats are furry animals. It's true, but it's a very broad. Cats are funny is much more narrow, certainly. But if you look at number 2 and number 5, they're much more narrow. And the more narrow your sentence, the more interesting the paragraph. Does that make sense to you both?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, yes.
When you write a broad paragraph like Cambodia is a good country, it's between Thailand and Vietnam, they have interesting food and there's places to go, it's too broad. So it's not very interesting. If you talk about the Russian market area or Tultumpong in Phnom Penh, this is much more easy, much more interesting for the reader. So you want your paragraphs to always try to be narrow, more interesting, more broad. The same thing when you listen to a speech. You want the speech to be more narrow. Okay?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
So whatever we need to write, we better write only very narrow topic, not to go broad. Otherwise, because some topic it require to be very broad.
Well, again, I'm talking about in general. So if you're answering a test question and your teacher says, why is democracy good? You have to answer the question. So you really have to look at what is you're doing. if you're basically giving one paragraph on Europe, you would have to be broad. But in general, when people read, they don't want to read one paragraph about Europe. So if you're writing 2 pages, it's much better to get a narrow topic and then write narrow paragraphs. When you write things that are broad, in general, you're writing for children or people who have no information, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you can do it, but it's the same thing. If you give a speech or write something and you just list details or you say very broad things, it may be true, but it's not very interesting. So you want to communicate, but you also want people to enjoy your writing. So your paragraph about online was specific and interesting, if that makes sense.
Thank you.
Sure. I mean, for my students, when they answer questions, certainly they're going to have to give, if I give them a broad enough, which I don't really want to, then they have to write broad. If you have 1 page to talk about world history, you're stuck. But people are not going to want to read it. It's not very useful. Much better to take the Bastille Day and the French Revolution and talk about that, and don't just talk about, so try to communicate, but also try to be interesting. Thank you for your question. Kemra, any questions?
No, I don't have it.
Okay. So again, if you want to drink while you're learning, feel free. Okay, let's go on to the next one. All right, so let's go back to the topic sentence. English is a challenging subject for non-native speakers. So I want you to look at this. So I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I want you to look at this and choose whichever sentences you think would be appropriate for this paragraph. These would be supporting. So Chia, what are the 3 sentences in a paragraph? We've lost your voice.
What are the, your question, please? What are the 3 sentences?
In a paragraph. Am I on mute? Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, there's 3 types of sentences in a paragraph. What are they?
I forget already.
Kemra? 3 types of sentences in a paragraph?
Topic sentence.
Good.
Supporting
Idea and conclusion.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. So these are examples of the body or supporting. I know, very simple, right, Sachin?
Yes.
Okay. So just go through. These are body or supporting sentences. So read through them and choose, when you're ready, let me know. Choose the ones that you think would be appropriate for this topic. So English is a challenging subject for non-native speakers is your topic sentence. So choose whichever ones you think would help you to support that topic. So just spend some time to read that. Kemra, are you ready?
Yeah. I think start from number 5.
Number 5, okay. Anything else?
And then number 3.
Number 3, okay.
And number 1.
All right, 1, 3, and 5. Thank you. Thank you. Suchit?
Yeah, the same. Number 1, number 3, and number 5. Because number 4 and number 2 is not related.
Okay.
It's something else.
Very good. Okay, so this is true. The problem, of course, is they shouldn't be in the same paragraph because number 3 is dealing with speaking or receptive, whereas number 1 would be talking about grammar, and then number 5 just talks about, so they'd actually be 3 different paragraphs, but you could potentially, they are all supporting sentences. So very good, nice job. But again, if you think about it, you'd have to make sure that these wouldn't be in the same paragraph, because one would be grammar, English grammar is challenging. The next one would be speaking English clearly is challenging. And the last one would be people in Asia and Latin America have particular problems. Okay, very nice. Nice job. So what I want you to do now, if you have paper, if not, then you can just try to do it. But it's probably helpful if you have paper, unless you put up another screen on your computer, is I want you to write, so I've given you a topic sentence. There are many reasons why students do not succeed in school. So a bit broad, and I just want you to write 3 sentences. You don't need to do the conclusion. Just give me 3 sentences to support this topic. When you're finished, let me know and you can share, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I think then we just
Okay, y'all, you guys ready?
I mean,
No, not yet, not yet.
Okay. She's gone. She went away. Wow. Somebody's got a lot of traffic around. Is that Ronnie?
right, that's
Oh, because Ronnie is on mute. So Chia, you live in the middle of the street?
No. Yes, very close to the street.
Sounds
So
like
that's very noisy.
Sounds like they come through your house almost.
Yes, you hear the noise.
Very clearly.
Yes, yes, that's true. That's why it's difficult for me to
Is there a way for them to type and share, or?
They can type in the messenger group.
Okay. Also, if you guys want to, you can go to the Facebook Messenger and type if you want to. Or since there's two of us, you can just read either way. Over here in Facebook, right here in Facebook, right? Yeah, so you could go to Facebook and type if you want. I can type. Oh, two people. You're gone. I have both. So it's nice to have the pink curtains back here.
I think it's just lost.
I can't. It's not on my screen. Yeah. Maybe I can. Can you invite him again? Oh, Mama's back.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes. Oh, very cute.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, are you finished the chit?
Yes, I finished.
Okay, so you can type it in. If you don't want to type it, you can just read. Go ahead. So
I copied. I can copy.
okay.
I type in, yes. Where can I share?
Join a group.
In the group where you were invited on the Facebook page, Write Better.
Oh, okay. In the group, in the Facebook page, right?
Correct. Just make it easy for me having two computers like this. Okay. So I'll go ahead and read. There are many reasons why students do not succeed in school. Some courses are difficult. The education system are not good enough. Some students are from poor family that are not affordable to pay for the school fee. Okay, interesting. So Chit, what you basically talked about are more external kind of things. In other words, you've talked a lot about things that make it difficult for students, not so much their personality, but things outside of which are environmental issues. Okay. So let's see. Some courses are difficult. Do you think that's a good support? Some courses are difficult.
For example, like mathematics, physics can be difficult for some students.
True.
Especially for myself. This is mostly from myself.
True. Okay. And then the education system's not good enough.
Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a difference. The only problem is your logic is the first thing you're talking about, some students can't do well because they have a problem. The second is they do well, but they don't learn something. So you're kind of mixing up things in a way. You follow what I mean? But
Yes.
okay. So yeah, that's partly, I think, and you would break that into two paragraphs. One, you would say sometimes students can't get the grades they want. So my topic sentence should be more narrow also. But you could say sometimes when students go to school, they're not able to get good grades. Then another is even though students may study, they may not learn what they wanted to learn. So then that would be two different things. And from poor family, they pay the school fee. Well, if they can't pay the school fee, they probably can't go to school. But yeah, obviously if they're in grammar school in Cambodia, maybe they can't get tests and books and stuff like that. So, okay, those are all supported. Not exactly the way I wanted, but very good. Thank you. Camera?
Yes. For me, I think the reason why the student do not succeed in the school because nowadays they have a smartphone though, so they don't pay study hard, don't pay much attention in studying. The first one, and the second one, they mostly the student they don't like reading and more often go to library for researching or reading. Yeah.
I'm losing you. Can you say it again? The second one? We're hard to hear you.
The second one that they don't like reading, the most student, and they not more often go to library for reading or researching. Yeah, they not get the important thing in the library. And the third one, the most student they don't have a schedule to study. They're not clear. Just this one of the reason that they don't succeed in the school.
Okay, so yours is a little bit more different. These seem like better because this has not so much to do with, because if the people are poor, then everybody, but this is more, usually when people don't succeed, assuming that not everybody fails, it's usually going to be because of their study habits or something like that. So I like your support. So smartphones is an example, but basically people are distracted with girlfriends, phones, movies, things like that. They don't like to read, which in Cambodia are not a reading society, and they don't make a schedule, so they're not professional. So these are very good, probably from your experience of working with an NGO and working with students also. So very nice. Okay, we're pretty much close to out. Let me go back. I have any questions about this? Okay, thank you for sharing. So let me go back and review through magic of the World Wide Web. We'll throw up the next slide. Okay, so I have a couple. So this is the first thing I want you to do. So we'll send, you have this. So you should have this in your mail if you check. So I'll give you a little bit more homework because you'll have until Monday. So I've given you 3 wonderful topics, but they seem a little bit broad. So what I want you to do is I want you to turn this into a topic sentence for a paragraph.
Only
fair enough?
Sentence. Only topic sentence, right? Yes.
Only topic sentence. I'm not going to be cruel. Don't write an essay yet. I could ask for an essay, but that's okay. So give me one good topic sentence that you think would be appropriate for each one of these for a paragraph, not for an essay. Okay?
Yes.
Mammals, you both know mammals, right?
No.
Imran?
Check this dictionary. I don't know.
I can help you. A mammal is an animal that has fur and warm blood. Sat mien rom hai nang chiam kadao.
Mammal, okay.
Okay.
Can you give example which animal?
That's part of your homework.
Okay.
Your job is to narrow it. Just like when I gave you Cambodia. Second one, computers, and the last one, oram, dance. Okay?
Yes.
So narrow it and then next slide. Okay, the last one, go along with that. Do the second part. So your supporting sentences were good. I like them. So I want you to create a topic. You can choose and then, and I'm not paragraph, provide 5 topic sentence, supporting sentences. So basically create a topic like it might be alcohol is bad for your health. And then give 5 sentences to support that topic, okay? Or if you want, you can do that with one of your topics that you do with mammals, computers, and dance. So just take a topic and give 5 supporting or body sentences. Make them simple sentences. It's like an outline. You don't need to make long. Cats like yarn, alcohol harms our liver. So just make it simple sentences, okay? Is that clear?
We can get other topic sentence to write.
Or do you want me to go back over it? Unstable internet.
You mean that we can get from our topic sentence or other create a new topic sentence to write the supporting idea, right? I don't catch you. Can you hear me?
Internet got mute một cái.
Vậy đã lưu lại.
Lưu nhau mày bọn
Sự chết hôm nay anh vô lúc này anh prap bong tí bàn ấy.
Nhưng mà tuần vô vậy để có trong bàn đây mình tên tới bọn.
Dạ, lâu nãy su quát tới chừng, su quát tới đây chừng. Con su quát tới ọt khơi, ọt tới.
Bàn bọn. ở đây coi gặp ông kèn hàng cọt trên kèn chuột
kèn chứ mình chơi một bọn vậy tới còn slide này kèn
យ៉ាងហ្នឹងហើយបង exercise នេះប្រហែលជា topic ដែលលោកគ្រូឲ្យមើលដែល Kenneth ឲ្យ topic are 3 ហ្នឹង you can use that one or you create an essay topic for yourself yeah that's it either you take the one that they give or you create your own that's it
អរគុណ
បាទ
យល់ហើយចឹងចាយល់ហើយចា
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay, they're back.
All right. So, Chick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you're back. All right. Any questions about that?
No, I just Bunhom told me already about my question.
Okay, great. Thank you, Home. So yeah, just take those 3 topics, make them narrow, and then either take one of those topics or a new topic and give me 5 simple sentences that support your topic. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Great. Lovely to see you on this Friday night. Hope you have a rest of your Independence Day as independent night, and I will see you next week.
Okay.
Okay, jump up at Allah.
Yeah. Akon, you too.
Akon, have a nice weekend.
All right. See you, Bong.
Yeah, enjoy.
11 o'clock me now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you are 3 hours ahead, Bong Bunhom.
4 hours ahead.
Oh,
yeah.
So it changed sometime or
it's 11 now.
Yeah.
It changed. It changed.
Good night.
It changed twice.
Some month 3, some month 4. Okay.
Good night.
Good weekend, everybody. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.